Hi and welcome to another YouTube video. This is an Elven castle that I've built, or also a wedding venue that I did for Miss Unfortunate's shell challenge, and this shell was so inspiring for me, and it was no question that I would participate in this shell challenge because Miss Unfortunate is just such a wonderful human being. She is so supportive and such an incredibly skilled builder, and also just a fantastic content creator. I'm definitely going to link her YouTube channel in the description because yes, Miss Unfortunate was one of the first people that I met in the Sims community that I would really consider my friend now, and that's such an honor. And this is her very first shell challenge to celebrate her hitting 1,000 subscribers, which is like just mental. And yeah, so it was no question for me that I would participate, even though it was kind of difficult, not necessarily the build and the shell, even though it had like some trickiness up its sleeve. But yeah, I was like, as you can maybe hear from my nasally voice, I am still sick and I had like a very difficult few years, but I'm going to get to the personal stuff a little bit later. Now first, let's talk about this build and my concept for this build. So I saw the shape and I immediately thought of a castle. Not necessarily your typical medieval castle, but more like a fantasy castle shape for me, especially with that little tower on top. It really inspired me. So I was kind of developing that concept in my head of this elven castle where there is maybe a very wealthy or a royal elven family that goes there during maybe the summer. So I put in 3 bedrooms and 1 nursery, so there could like be a big elven family. Or maybe if we were to transfer this build into the real world, it is also a wedding venue, and if you want to have like a kind of fantasy themed wedding, then you could go there and get your wedding. And then also you have this huge kitchen with 2 big dining spaces for all the guests to sit, and if there are guests that are coming over from further away, they can stay there and sleep. And also there is a suite for the bride and the groom. So it's kind of this merge between like totally fantasy, but also maybe something that people in the real world would recreate as a fantasy build. And for the color scheme of this build, I of course went with a lot of whites, but also as accent colors I went with this like very light pastely yellow orange, or you could also call it like a light brown or beige, I think. And I thought these two really gave the whole build a kind of like fantasy-esque like feel and style. Oh yeah, you could also call that gold. I think gold would have sounded much cooler than what I just said. So yeah, it is like golden accent colors, which also very much fits the fantasy theme. And then when I later get to the landscaping, I used also a lot of white flowers, but also flowers that are a very, very light, like lavender or lilac color. And yeah, I just noticed that this like very light violet is just like contrasting so well with this super light yellow and orange of these columns, and both colors make each other shine more. So I was like very happy with that color choice. Let me know if you like it too. I'm always open for feedback. And as much as I like the landscaping that you are going to see later, and as much as I love all of the flowers that like entwine themselves around the castle walls, I think my favorite part about this build is the bridge that you saw me build earlier. I just really like how it turned out and how all of the colors go together. It made me really happy when it worked out the way I wanted it to. And if you you want to know how to build a bridge like that, I can really recommend you check out the video that I did on my magical mushroom forest, where I explained in more detail how to make a bridge like that and how to make a waterfall, and just in general how I go about my landscaping process. So I think that might be a good video to check out if you want to learn a little bit more about landscaping, and so I'm also going to link that into the description. Now that we are already over 5 minutes into the voiceover and I'm slowly starting to lose my voice again, I hope it's not too apparent. I think I'm just going to quickly tell you what's been going on in my life and stuff. Because yeah, I think if you stuck around here for more than 5 minutes, first of all, I'm super thankful for you for watching my video for this long, and I'm like super thankful for every supporter, but also I think now we're all friends here. So yeah, my life has been like kind of stressful in the last time. I am working like full on my bachelor's thesis, but also my boyfriend has had to work overtime a lot, so I have been doing more and more of the household chores, and on top of that I just love YouTube. This is my favorite hobby that I ever had. I love every part of the process of making videos and making content. Like, I love The Sims and I love building. I love to come up with video ideas. I have like Word documents with pages and pages full of video ideas. I don't think I'm going to run out in like the next years to come. So I love that part, but I also love editing. It's very relaxing to me, while at the same time I can still feel productive. And then just like putting out the video and like forming a community and getting so much like responses and comments just like means the world to me and makes me so happy and gives me so much. So this is so important for me, and no matter how stressful my life it gets, I never want to stop doing it because it helps me so much to deal with that other stress, even though I won't lie that YouTube sometimes can be stressful if you try to stick to a schedule. So that's just been my like everyday life, trying to juggle these 3 things and also maintain like a little bit of a social life outside of YouTube. And yeah, so that has been like the usual. And with all the stuff that went on with my bachelor's thesis, I already was like mentally pretty much exhausted. And then I had a conversation with like an older friend of mine, and he said some like pretty sexist stuff, especially about women that were or are being raped. And after that, I knew that that friendship wasn't good for me and that I needed to like kind of distance myself, which is something that I never had to do. I never had to break up with someone. I never had to end a friendship because I don't have many friends, and so I usually really worship the few friendships that I have. But yeah, that was like also kind of difficult to be like, yeah, no, this like isn't working for me, and these are the reasons why. And yeah, so that already had me very overwhelmed emotionally. And then there were some positive things. I also had my birthday on the 21st of no, not the 21st, the 31st of March, which was amazing. And I finally also got to have some family over, and I was so excited to host like some people in my home again and bake for them and cook for them, because that's stuff that I really like to do. But also the apartment, because of how stressed I was also the few weeks before and months before, to be honest, the apartment just like really needed some deep cleaning, and then I did that for 3 days straight. And after that also my body was completely exhausted, even though I was kind of happy that I finally had a reason to clean my apartment, because that was very, like, really much weighing hard on me. And then I got some, like, a very, very serious bad news, and that, like, completely threw me, like, over with all of that other stuff going on. So, like, I kind of broke down after hearing that, and like, for like a day I was still able to, like, function and push that away, and just like try to be productive and be myself and stuff. But after that, my body said that it had enough and made me sick. And so I have been sick for the last week. I had, like, lots of plans of celebrating my birthday on Twitch, which I think I'm still going to do when I'm feeling better. I don't know if it's weird if I'm celebrating my birthday on Twitch 1 week after it, like, already was, but I don't care. I'm not going to let my, like, sickness take that from me. I'm going to celebrate my birthday on Twitch probably this Thursday, so I at least have that to look forward to. And also, I just needed a break after that. I just, like, couldn't work, I couldn't record, I didn't have a voice. So yeah, that's because, like, that is the reason why there weren't any videos last week, and I'm very sorry about that. But I think after hearing what was going on, I think you understand. And also, I wasn't able to stream. But now I finally starting to get my voice back and starting to have a little bit more energy to do stuff and to, like, record stuff and all of that. So I think I'm finally and slowly getting back into my schedule. But this is just, like, a quick update so that you know what's going on in my life, and it feels actually super good to just have this space to be totally honest and to talk about stuff like that. And thank you so much for listening if you did, and I really appreciate you. And it's going to get better, I know. And so yes, that has been my Easter holiday, just being at home, not seeing family, and dealing with being sick, dealing with my allergies on top of that, who are going, like, crazy at the moment. But I don't just want to load up all of that stuff onto you. I am also super interested in how your Easter holiday was, if you celebrated, or if not, just what kind of weekend you had. I am super happy to read through some, like, happy stories about your Easter in the comments. But also, if it wasn't as great, I'll always try to just, like, give you a virtual hug and read it and try the best I can to make you feel better. I don't know if maybe the YouTube comments are the best space for that, but especially when I'm streaming on Twitch, I am always interested to hear what people are going through or what is happening in people's lives. So if you ever want a place to unload some stuff, I'm always here to listen and to give the best advice that I possibly can. But now that was enough of personal stuff. I'm very sorry for this intermission, but it was just, like, necessary to just, like, get this off my chest. And yeah, now back to the build. First of all, I kind of, like, had to change the, like, speed of the speed build in the middle of the recording process, because in the beginning, like, everything was fine, normal speed build, but then in the second half, for some reason, I just started, like, turning the camera like a mad woman in the footage. I don't know why I did it, but it was, like, very hard to edit down. And when I sped up the footage too fast, like as fast as the other half, it was just, like, barely watchable. So I made this footage a little bit slower. So hopefully you don't get dizzy watching the footage. And also I didn't record the interior in the speed build footage. That would have just like taken way too long because I already spent so much time on the exterior. Also, I didn't have that much time left before the deadline ended for this shell challenge because of all the stuff going on that you heard about a little bit earlier. So I was kind of late with the shell challenge and I really wanted to get it done. So I wasn't able to spend that much time on the interior as I wanted, but I toured the interior in the tour that you're going to see in the end, and I also tried to take my time with the tour. I sadly wasn't able to show you the bathrooms in this because they are too small to show with the cinematic camera tour. It always does like some loopings if I try to go into smaller rooms, and I didn't want to present that to you, so I just toured the bigger rooms, and I really hope that you are going to like them. And if you want to see the entire build, it's of course up for download on the gallery. My gallery ID is just SunnyCreations, and this one is called Elven Castle, I think, or Fantasy Elven Castle. I'm not that sure. But yeah, I'm sure you're going to find it. It's also under the hashtag MU Shell Challenge for Miss Unfortunate's Shell Challenge, and I would definitely recommend you check out that hashtag because I did, and there are just mind-blowing builds up there. There is a castle in the clouds. I don't know how that person did it, and then there also is like a neon cyberpunk city, which is like totally crazy. And then also Passerine did this build that is like a cool haven. Is haven the right word? Where ships enter. It's just like this awesome community space with water flowing through it, and it's kind of industrial and realistic, but so aesthetically. So yeah, just tons of builds that I could just gush over for hours under this hashtag, so definitely go check out the other builds for this shell challenge too. And yeah, that's it. This is the exterior of this build all done. I really hope you enjoyed and liked this video. If you would consider subscribing, you would make me super duper happy, especially because we're so close to 500 subscribers, which is crazy. And yeah, I hope we'll see each other again.